Hello dear students. Today we are going to start our lesson 1B of civics, the organs of Indian government, the executive part. We call it the branches of government. I already told you there are three branches of government: legislative, executive and the judicial. In India, these are the three important political institutions. Legislative, the Prime Minister and the Cabinet Ministers that take all important policy decisions. Executive, the civil servants working together are responsible for taking steps to implement the minister's decision. Judiciary, Supreme Court is an institution where disputes between citizens and the government are finally settled. So these executives are of two types, political and permanent executive. Political executive is one which is elected by the people for only a specific period of time, and it signifies the government of a country. And the permanent executive are the one where people are appointed on a long-term basis. We call them, or is called, permanent executive or the civil services. People working for the civil services are called the civil servants. To make it more clear, you will see the difference between political and permanent executives. Political executives who are elected by the people for a specific period are called political executives. The permanent executives are salaried with civil servants who are appointed on a long term. Example of political executives: all the leaders like the Prime Minister, Council of Ministers comes under political executives, and person working in civil services, example IAS, IPS and IFS, are the example of permanent executives. Now political executives remain in office only so long as they command the confidence of the majority members of the parliament, while permanent executives remain in office even when the ruling party changes and their tenure of the office is fixed. Political executives are answerable to people for all the consequences of their decisions, while they are not answerable to the people. They are more powerful than they take all the final decisions. But permanent executives are less powerful. They do not take decisions. Instead, they assist political executives in carrying out day-to-day administration. President of India. Head of the Union Executive is the President. It also includes the PM and the Council of Ministers. Real executive powers are vested in the Councils of Ministers. According to Article 53, the executive powers of the President are exercised by him directly or through officers subordinate to him in accordance with the Constitution. Now, the election of the President. President is elected by indirect election. Electoral college in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. The joint body of elected MPs and MLAs which elect the President is known as the Electoral College, and it is a temporary body which is dissolved immediately after the election of the President is over. And why we adopt the indirect method? Because the size of the electorate of India is too big, and direct election of President would mean a tremendous loss of time, money and energy. Qualifications of the President of India. He must be a citizen of India, completed 35 years of age, qualified for the election as a member of the Lok Sabha, not hold any office of profit under the Government of India, state government of any local authority, and shall not be a member of either House of People or House of Legislature of any state. Term of office. 5 years from the date on which he enters upon his office, and he is also eligible for re-election. And his office can be terminated in either of the two ways: by resignation in writing under his hand addressed to the Vice President of India, or by removal of violation of the Constitution by the prosecutor. Powers of the President classified as follows: executive powers, legislative powers, financial powers, judicial powers, emergency powers, and miscellaneous. And in detail we will discuss in next class. Thank you and have a nice day.